tracker and a road racer bang handlebars with the likes of Hall of Famers Mark Brailsford, Mert Lawwell, Chuck Palmgren, Gene Romero, and Kenny Roberts, and then earn a spot on the Motorcycle Hall of Fame podium. Fans of this California legend know how, and now you will too.
Don Castro grew up in Hollister in Central California. When he was almost 16, he got a Honda so he could go back and forth to work. But Castro didn't use the small bike just for transportation. He began racing it around town, drawing the attention of the police, who reported his antics to his father. In exchange for parking his street racer, the senior Castro brought his son a 500 Triumph to go AMA racing. Castro was soon racing in sportsman TT races and hill climbs. At the age of 18, he transferred to the expert sportsman class, turning pro novice in 1968 and then junior in 1969. In 1970, Castro earned a Triumph factory ride as a pro expert. His first road race was at the famed Daytona International Speedway, where he finished third on a 3-cylinder Triumph Trident. Next year, Castro raced short track, TT, half mile, mile, and road courses. By 1973, Castro was highly regarded. He got a factory contract with Yamaha, teamed with Kenny Roberts. His win at the San Jose half mile is considered to be his greatest victory. All but one of the 12 competitors in the 20-mile national final were future Hall of Famers: Roberts, Chuck Palmgren, Rex Beauchamp, Mert Lawwell, Jim Rice, Mark Brailsford, Gary Scott, Mike Kidd, Eddie Mulder, Gene Romero, and Randy Scott. After Roberts was sidelined on the first lap with ignition problems, Castro took over the lead and held it to the finish, unchallenged by any of those other racers. He finished 5th overall for the season. In 1974, Castro won the 250cc road race at Daytona, then finished 4th in the Daytona 200, before suffering a leg injury that sidelined him for much of the season. When Yamaha pulled out of racing in 1975, Castro teamed up with legendary tuner Herb Kanemoto to race Kawasaki. Sidelined again by injuries, he retired from racing in 1976. Today, this extraordinary dirt tracker and road racer owns a shop called Racer's Edge in Tres Pinos, California. After battling handlebar to handlebar with some of the greatest motorcycle racers of all time, Don Castro takes his rightful place in the Motorcycle Hall of Fame.
Here to introduce Don Castro is the co-owner of Metro Racing, the world's largest manufacturer of vintage motorcycle clothing and accessories. And just this past year, he added the role of technical advisor to the AMA Vintage Dirt Track Series to his list of motorcycle duties. Please welcome Don Miller.
Thank you, Perry. My big brothers were always taking me to motorcycle races when I was little. There was one in particular race that led my path here today, September 1974, the Syracuse Mile in New York. I was 11 years old, wandering around the races, with a program in hand, looking to get autographs of anybody. The riders were on the front straight, walking the track before the race. Figured always time to get a good autograph from all these guys. I was clinging to the fence, screaming to get their attention, trying to get any of them to pay. Most of the guys came over, obliged with a smile, handed the program back to me. It was pretty cool. That one day, though, there was one racer that stood out to me, Don Castro. We both had the same first name. I just got a Yamaha just like him. His number was 11. I was 11 years old. It was a perfect match for a kid. I called out to Don. He came right over. When I handed him my program, he didn't immediately sign it. Instead, put it to his side and asked me, "What's your name?" Asked me if I rode, how was school, did I like the races. I was ecstatic. It was the coolest that one of these guys was actually talking to me. Don signed the program and handed it back to me with a big smile. As he walked away, he said, "See you later, Don." He remembered my name. Yeah, I know it was his too, but I was 11 years old. I didn't see that. Fast forward 20 years, when I was asked by a promoter to bring my now vintage Yamaha for a race to Don Castro to ride, I couldn't stand it. I was, beside myself. It'd be great to see him again and how great it was. I thought it was cool at 11 to get to talk to him through a fence for an autograph. At 31, I got to spend the weekend with him, hearing his race stories, tuning for him in the pits while he rode my bike. It started a friendship that continues to today. Don Castro is truly one of the nicest people you will ever meet, and I am happy to have this privilege to present him with this great honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Fame, Don Castro.
Presenting the Motorcycle Hall of Fame ring tonight to Don Castro is a legendary dirt track tuner with 13 Grand National Championships to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hall of Fame member Bill Werner.
Don Castro, in recognition of your tremendous talent, dedication, and success in the dirt track and road racing competition, it's my honor to welcome you to the Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You bet.
Wow, what an honor, huh? Can't believe it myself. Well, has anybody checked out that nice racer in the back? That's my old dirt tracker, and Don Miller restored it, and it looks really nice. Well, I didn't get up here all by myself. I had a lot of great help. I was lucky enough to get 2 factory rides, one for Yamaha and then one for Triumph. And through the years, I had some of the best mechanics. As you heard, Irv Kanemoto for the 2-stroke bikes, and then I also had Shell Tuitt for our dirt tracks on the Yamaha team. Manuel Romero was my first mechanic, and then I also had Shell Tuitt on our dirt bikes. And these bikes went from 200 miles an hour on the road race, and the dirt tracks went about 140, I guess, on the straightaway. And it's really a lot of fun when you go in the back to straightaway and back again. I wish anybody could do that. They'd get a real thrill out of that. Well, I'd like to thank my peers for voting me in, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming out, my family, and special members. Thank you very much.